Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of City Hall Live. I am Joe Abeta, and with me today from the Food Depot is Jill Dixon. How you doing today, Jill?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good. I'm doing well. Thank you for coming on. I know
it's always a pleasure.
It's crazy. I know you're busy all year, but I know the general public think that this is the busiest time of year for you guys. But no, it's the entire year.
Hunger is definitely a year-round issue, but we see people's consciousness about it tick up during the holidays, which makes us a little more busy.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so let's just go over a couple of things.
Sure.
I know there's people who are going to be watching, and we're going to be putting this on our Facebook page. But what can people do right now to help out, to fight hunger and help the Food Depot out here in our community?
Oh my gosh, there's so many ways to get involved. First and foremost, it seems simple, but financial contributions are always needed. Right now we're experiencing, the year's closing out, we've looked at our numbers, and we're seeing that there was a 400,000 pound shortfall in non-perishable donations from national sources. And we kept expecting that to rebound through the year, that those donations were gonna pick up. And those are donations from regional food banks who have extra, which is something we rely on. It's also donations from national food corporations. And we haven't seen those come back this year.
Okay.
So right now
that's 400,000 pounds of food.
400,000 pounds of food.
Okay.
So right now we're really looking to our community to help us fill that gap.
Okay.
And unfortunately, we're having to purchase that food. We're able to do that really economically. We have donors who give us wholesale pricing and that type of thing, but we're trying to raise an extra $125,000 to help fill that gap right now.
Okay, and people need to understand that you have like expert buyers. You have people. You have this network of folks around the state and surrounding states where you can buy food. So it has affected the system, the network, if you will. Completely. So now you're having to make up for that because there is demand, right? You always are having that constant demand, and even more so, some more than other. It's kind of like, you know, hunger hits, and sometimes, you know, there's more of a demand than there is for some months. But the fact is that you need to build your surplus in the times when there's a big need for it, right?
Absolutely. We always want to make sure that we have enough food on hand to fully address the need. And we always fall a little bit short. There's more hunger than there are resources to address it right now.
How many families we're serving?
We
Households?
serve approximately 55,000 people, individuals per year.
Okay.
So that's a pretty stable number. It hasn't changed significantly post-recession. So that's our responsibility, is to make sure that we have food in the warehouse to provide to families and people experiencing hunger.
And it's not the same people, it's different. It changes all the time.
Yes.
So it's a constant change. It's not the same people coming to you and saying, hey, I need, it's folks that might, you know, be one paycheck, one broken refrigerator or HVAC system or whatever away from struggling.
Absolutely.
Right.
You see people come in and out of that financial crisis because the majority of households experiencing hunger that use food stamps, that use the food bank system, are people who are working. That's well above 50% of people have at least one working adult in the household, and many others are caring for someone who's ill or disabled. So what you see are budgets that are stretched really thin, and one crisis, one unexpected expense, a trip to the ER, can really plunge a family into a situation where they need to use the food bank system.
Exactly, and that's what you guys are there for.
That's what we're here for, and we want to make sure we always have the resources to take care of people.
That's right. So with this shortage, what can people do to help you guys out?
First and foremost, financial contributions. We can stretch every dollar to provide 4 meals. It really helps us pigeonhole exactly what we need. So buying beans, buying rice, peanut butter, staple foods, that really makes that possible for us. On the other hand, hold a food drive. You know, you and I were talking about things your family can do that are a little bit different.
And then there's the typical, and it's not, I'm not trying to discourage it, but we were talking about this, that yes, we can go and serve meals, you know, on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or on Thanksgiving, but and that's fine. But there's more of an impact when you do things like create a food drive that would help the greater good in a
Sure.
longer period of time, more than just one evening or a couple hours that you're donating, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can throw a food drive as part of your holiday party. If you're getting your whole family together, ask them all to bring items that would create a food box. And maybe that goes to feed somebody in need. Or do a diaper drive. We have a diaper program that's something totally different. But there's a lot of different ways that you can act.
Or a money drive.
Or a money
Right,
drive.
because $1, what does $1
Four
equal
meals.
for you? Yeah, 4 meals for you. Yeah.
So I know that you probably have people on your list that don't need anything else.
Yeah.
That you've been giving gifts to for the last 20 years. You're at a loss. What is it going to be? Oh, I could
For the
get them.
person who has everything,
For
right?
the person who has everything or just has enough.
Yeah.
You can give a gift. I mean, obviously you can give to us, but you can do that with other organizations as well. Give a gift in honor of someone, and they'll get a letter saying, hey, Joe donated $100 to help feed kids in need. And that's a really heartwarming thing
It
that,
is.
is different.
No, absolutely. Let's talk about how easy it is to give to you guys.
Oh, so simple.
So
Just go to our website,
Okay.
thefooddepot.org. You're going to see a big donate button. And you can choose which program you want to invest in, whether that's the diaper program, food for pets, feeding children, or our general operations, which goes all over northern New Mexico.
That's great, and that's fooddepot.org.
Yes, sir.
And that's a 24-hour. That's open 24 hours.
Open
folks.
24 hours,
Right?
absolutely. It's super easy. So whenever you get that moment to finish off your holiday shopping, you can do that in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So right now, is it a busy time right now for you guys? What's going on right now daily that's not happening during the whole year, or is it pretty much status quo where you guys are keeping busy that whole?
It's really busy because so many people are thinking about those who go without. And that's typical in this season of abundance, which is amazing and inspiring to see people move to give. So typically we see from October to December, that's when we get this huge abundance that helps sustain the food bank throughout the rest of the year. So we're really counting at the Food Depot on people giving during this time and holding that over for January, February, March, when hunger is still there. But maybe we're not getting as many resources coming into the food bank.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And with that, it's interesting because it's during the summertime, right, that it becomes there's a big need for it because kids are staying at home.
Yes.
Right, and kids are used to having their meals at school, breakfast and lunch. Some cases, I don't know, dinner. I don't think they serve dinner at schools, but breakfast and lunch are the 2 meals.
Yeah.
And those sometimes, and sadly, are the only 2 meals that these kids have.
Yeah.
Well, now they're staying at home all day, and there's more of a need for food for families that can't afford 3 meals a day, and they are out there where they'll need to come to you guys, right?
Yes.
To be able to help supplement that.
I mean, really, we see that at every break for the school system. And certainly we don't view the school system as a babysitter, but when you
No.
think about when your kids are out of school
It's the reality of it,
before
though.
they could stay home, you have to pay for a camp for them to go to or some other type of care situation that's over and above what you already pay for during the year. And then there is obviously, I mean, you leave a couple of teenagers at home during the summer,
Yeah.
they could eat your whole house down.
Yeah, and if I'm not correct, I think the schools do have a program during the summertime. I think so.
There
I'm
are
not quite sure, but I don't want to
There's so
misrepresent,
many-
but there's a lot of programs
So
out
there's
there.
a federal program called the Summer Feeding Program, and that means that there's access to hot meals for at least lunch, if not breakfast, at multiple sites throughout the city. And we support a few of those programs. The sites operated by the city last year. The meals were provided by the Food Depot.
Yeah.
There's Boys and Girls Clubs, same relationship, but there's many others that aren't supported by us where those funds come in from the federal government
Gotcha.
and make that possible.
Gotcha. Okay, just real quick before we're going to recap, but I just really, for the people, because you've been on several times, but for the people
Sure.
that don't know you and this is their first time seeing something, I just need to, let's go over some stuff real quick of the Food Depot, the services in a nutshell.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about if someone were to come in and say, hey, we're going through some tough times, and I know there's other organizations, right? Because
Yes.
you guys are the source
Yes.
of it. But you can help steer them to the right organizations to be able to supply them with food and stuff, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, so how does that work?
The Food Depot,
I'm sorry.
That's okay. The Food Depot operates essentially behind the scenes. So
Okay.
a lot of people use food bank and food pantry interchangeably. They're not the same thing.
Okay.
As a food bank, our job is to acquire as much food as possible
Okay.
from as many sources as possible and fill up a warehouse full of food, both
Okay.
produce and non-perishable items. then we ship that food out to a variety of partners.
Okay.
And that can be food pantries, hot meal programs, shelters for the homeless or persons experiencing violence. And we provide them with the food component of their program. That's 70% of what we do.
Okay.
Another 30% is in places where there are no food pantries, there are no meal programs. We step in and we offer direct service.
Okay.
So we have our own mobile food pantry, or we have a children's feeding program, and we offer some of those direct service programs. So sometimes we are a food pantry also.
Okay.
But we're always the food bank that's supplying others.
Got you. And whatever's supplied from you, you offer recipes on how to fix the food that's supplied, if it's kind of an offbeat.
That's
We talked
something,
about this.
yeah, that's something our programs office works really hard on, is making sure people know what to do with the food we provide.
And make it efficient and the most you can get out of whatever you receive.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And part of a city grant that we received this year is offering navigation services, which
Okay.
is trying to connect people who are in need. If someone shows up and says, hey, we're experiencing hunger, we're offering a navigator to help connect them with other resources as well. So we're getting them linked into the whole system of social services.
Well, that's great. Okay, so, and again, folks, they are here to help. There's no judgment, no nothing like that. Everyone goes through tough times.
Sure.
And it's to help you get back on your feet.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's recap.
Okay, let's do it.
We need, so there's a 400,000 pound shortage going on right now
Yes.
of non-perishable foods.
Yes.
And you're looking to recover that. And the best way to do that is to donate.
Donate, whether
Okay.
it's non-perishables out of your pantry or preferably cash to help us purchase the difference.
Okay, great. And also, if someone knows of a family that's in need, who do they call?
You
Who
can
they
definitely call the Food Depot. We'll
Okay.
get them connected with Chris. He's our resource navigator,
okay.
and he can help connect them into the system and see how they can help.
Okay, all right, great.
You can reach out to us at thefooddepot.org. There's a button for the info email address,
Yeah,
and
it's a
he'll
really
get
good,
that
it's a real
and
good
connect
website.
people. Yeah.
It's easy to find your phone number too.
It is easy to find my phone number.
It's good. It's good. All right, great, awesome. And then also, folks, donate and think about, as far as this is a year-round thing. It's not just a
Yes.
holiday thing. It's a year-round thing. So really try not to just think about it during the holidays. Think about it all year round, and they need help all year round too as well.
Think about it during the legislative session.
Yes.
It's a really good time to think
There
about
you go.
it.
That's a good time to think about it too. Call your local politician and say, hey, listen, we need to help out the Food Depot.
Yeah,
So
this is what we care about.
good stuff.
Thank you.
Jill, thank you so much. You guys
I
do
love
the
being
Lord's
here.
work out there. It's awesome. You guys have a great organization. I went out there to your building, your organization, a
Yep.
couple of months ago, and it was amazing. I was very impressed. So
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome stuff. So thanks again.
Thank you.
Yeah, and have a happy holiday too.
Absolutely, you too.
Great. Folks, thank you. We'll be back next week. Want to thank Adrian. Want to thank Christina. They are awesome. We are all back together again. Folks, have a safe week. Have a great week. Adios.